some people started a campaign to stop Governor El-Rufai from speaking at the 60th Annual General Conference of the Nigeria Bar Association. And 2 days ago, I guess, the National Executive Committee of the Nigeria Bar Association came to a conclusion to disinvite Governor El-Rufai from speaking at the Congress. Up till now, it has generated a lot of controversy. Here to discuss this tonight is Barrister Emmanuel Zion Ewere, Esquire, a legal practitioner based in Nigeria. So, Mr. Emmanuel, you are welcome to our program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to speak about the Nigerian Bar Association and her 60th edition of our annual general conference, and also with the controversy in regards to the exclusion of Governor El-Rufai as among the speakers. Now, the Nigerian Bar Association is planning her 60th edition of our annual general conference. And the theme they have put forward is Step Forward. They have invited notable speakers, including the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo. They have invited the former President, Olusegun Obasanjo, Elsin Wike, Governor El-Rufai that has been excluded and has brought about a lot of controversy. This exclusion was made based on petition made by certain persons, including the Open Bar Initiative, Femi Falana SAN, and many others. They made this petition to the National Executive Committee of the Nigerian Bar Association. And this weighty petition was actually made against the governor for the committee to pass a vote. Now the committee passed a vote, and though the president, Paul Usoro, could not help it, could not stop it because it was a vote based on majority, it was resulted that he should be excluded from the conference. Now this has brought about a lot of spark and outrage. Now part of the content of the petition includes his constant disregard for court orders, then his character towards perceived critics, and his actions and inaction in regards to the killing in southern Kaduna. I will talk briefly about this. In regards to the killing in southern Kaduna, just last week, the governor was on Channels Television and he was asked a question: have you visited the sites where this crisis are ongoing? And his response was that no, he has not visited the site because of the COVID-19. But few weeks ago, we saw this governor in Edo State for an APC campaign rally. That is a bad signal to the nation, telling us that political campaign is greater than human lives being slaughtered in southern Kaduna. Now, in regards to the disregard for court orders, we have several of structures that have been demolished by the governor, despite court orders restraining him not to proceed. These are familiar cases with the bar. So it's not something that they need to research, or familiar cases with the bar. He went ahead, he demolished. Even we have houses of even senior advocates of Nigeria. We have so many structures he demolished. Now, in regards to persons that have been seen as perceived critics, we all know that Yatta We all know Kefasin, we know Danfulani, we know so many others that we cannot explain their whereabouts, but we all know that they are critics of this governor. Now, the platform of the NPA is a very sacred place where if care is not taken, wrong signals can be given to the public. That is my main reason for even supporting the motion for his exclusion, was on the grounds that the platform of the NPA should not be given to anyone that will send a wrong signal to the public. Let me give you an instance. In the last two conferences held in Abuja, the president of the country was invited to speak, and he made a statement. The president said, national security supersedes the rule of law. It will surprise you to know that so many cheered at that statement. After the conference, after a while, we saw certain events playing out, like the refusal to court orders have granted bail to. We all know about the Ewere story. We know about the Dasuki. We know about so many persons that the federal government refused to grant bail to. And the defense they will give to us is that national security supersedes rule of law. Now, this statement was made on the platform of an NBA conference, and it sent a very strong signal and now became a defense for the executive rascality. So trust me, if politicians should continue to have that podium to sell out that negative signal, it will not go well for the country. I don't know why the NBA is even focusing our conference on politicians. They are building on a team step forward, and they're inviting lots of politicians to come and speak to them. My opinion to the NBA is to get a team as introspect. They should go and look inward, go and check the record. What has the 59 conferences held so far done for the betterment of the association? What is the current position of the association? And what is the future of the association? If they don't answer these questions, they will keep dancing in a circus and things will not get better. Now, talking about the controversy of the governor's exclusion, it has actually brought about a counter petition as well from certain persons, even branches of the same NBA, like Jigawa, Bauchi, and also the Mulan group of Kaduna. And the center point of argument was that he was not given fair hearing to defend himself. But a point of correction, that the NBA has the right to decide who will admonish lawyers. Secondly, Governor El-Rufai is not a member of NBA, and the NBA is not bound by any given law to give him the opportunity to defend himself. They should just work with equity, good conscience, and what is good for the greater good. Now, looking at the major challenge of the nation, the major challenge actually is enforcement, the enforcement of judgment. We have so many lawyers going through the rigors of litigation, getting judgment, and at the end of the day, they cannot enforce it. This is a very big challenge, And I tell you the truth that those persons responsible for the frustration of this judgment process is the executive arm of government. We all know that the legislative arm of government will make these laws, the judiciary will interpret it, and the executive will enforce it. Now, we know about countless judgments against Kaduna State that the governor has refused to adhere to. He will never pay for any monetary sum made against him or the state. These are bad signals. These are bad signals that should not come on the platform of the NBA. And I believe the right decision has been made by the members of the association. It is an applaud. And I tell you the truth, it has sent a very good signal. A signal that protest is not an irritation. That protest is not a child's play. Protest should be looked into, and if found to be for the greater good, then decisions should be made on it.
All right. We thank you very much, Emmanuel, for this succinct introduction to this subject you have made. While you were speaking, certain things were going through my mind. So let me clarify a few things. First of all, when the Nigerian Bar Association is planning their annual general conference and they are deciding, the committee that decides on whom to invite as guest speakers, what criteria do they normally apply in making that decision? I don't know whether you've been part of the decision-making process or whether you are aware of the criteria your association applies in inviting people to speak at their conference.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel. The NBA usually entrusts the power to organize and coordinate the conference in the hands of a technical committee known as the TCCP. These persons will select persons that will touch the theme of the conference. And persons selected are from different fields of life. And the NEC is actually the NEC that excluded Governor El-Rufai from this very conference is the second highest authority of the association. So the TCCP is bound by the decision of the NEC.
Okay. Well,
when the TCCP actually nominated him, it was not convenient for the masses, for the members of the association, and they raised a protest immediately to the NEC that could make a decision to counter what the TCCP had set up, and it actually worked out. The protest worked out good.
Okay, so can you take us through if I understand you correctly, the two reasons why the NBA executive decided to disinvite El-Rufai, according to the petitions that was being signed by a lot of people against him, are: one, the position he has taken on the Southern Kaduna killings, and two, his disrespect for the rule of law, disobedience to court orders, and violation of the rights of some Kaduna citizens. Am I getting it correct?
Very correct, very correct.
Okay. Apart from El-Rufai, who are the other people invited to speak at the Nigerian Bar Association Annual General Conference?
We have Northern Elites, Southern Elites.
Their names, please.
I will name them.
Yes, yes.
The Vice President, Yemi Osibajo, the Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, the CJN, Tanko Mohammed. We have Aisha Mohammed. We have Ewere Madu. We have the former president Olusegun Obasanjo. We have many others, many others.
So are you yes, are you telling us conclusively now that if the standard applied to disinvite El-Rufai is also applied to the other speakers at the conference, that the rest will pass with flying colors? Is that the point you are trying to make?
Oh, my opinion is that El-Rufai had a standing petition that was made against him. If anybody feels that any of the invited speakers have something that should not make them presentable to the platform of the NBA, then they should make out the petition, make a protest as well. We sent our own message in regards to the person that we feel should not send a wrong signal. So if there's any other person that they feel that should be excluded, then I think they should go ahead and make a petition to that regard. We are not supporting any politician, but we are there to promote, protect the rule of law, and to prevent any wrong signal to be sent to the public.
Okay, now are you aware? I don't know whether it is correct, but I think I read this morning that there is in fact, there is a petition I saw in one WhatsApp forum on change.org where the petition against El-Rufai was also made. Some people saying that former President Olusegun Obasanjo and Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State should also not be invited because these people appears to have also a history of disrespect to the rule of law. Are you aware of such petition making rounds now?
I'm fully aware, but
so are you assuring us that the NBA executive will also consider the petition?
The conference is in 4 days' time, and if they continue to remove and bring in people, I think they will destabilize the system. They have done the main exclusion that have sent a very good message to the Nigerian politicians that they cannot do anything and get away with it. One way or the other, you will meet the other face of life. You know, most of the politicians they have made themselves demigods and they see themselves as untouchable. So Olusegun Obasanjo is not a saint. He has done so many things that are despicable. Nevertheless, he has been writing some funny letters as well that has passed some good message as well. Nobody is a saint in Nigeria, and we are concerned about people that will send wrong signals on the platform of the NBA. That's our major concern.
So why did the outgoing president of the Nigeria Bar Association apologize to El-Rufai for this invitation, not only over the telephone, but also by a letter written to the I think the Secretary General of the Nigerian Governors Forum, and which was made public? Why was Paul Usoro also apologizing to Governor El-Rufai for this invitation if they feel that they are on solid ground?
Mr. Paul Usoro made his apology on a personal ground, not for the association, because the association, they have the right to decide who will speak with them and who will not speak with them. He made his apology on a personal ground, and he was trying to bring a clarification that there was no religious or ethnic background to the removal, to the exclusion of El-Rufai. I have never been a fan of, okay, yes, I voted for Paul Usoro, but at some point, I've never been a fan of his style of administration. I have written several press releases, even an open letter to Paul Usoro to express my sadness towards his manner of going about things. I remember the president once retracted a tweet where the Nigerian Bar Association said the House should proceed on impeachment where the president fails to retract his action. And the next minute, they removed the tweet, they retracted it, and the Paul Usoro said it was not the opinion of the NBA. I wrote clearly that was a very big sign, a very big blow to the association, and a sign of a coward. Paul Usoro plays some kind of politics, and I don't understand him. But left for me, I will say it. The association owes nobody no apology, because we must protect the sacred platform of the NBA. His exclusion is for the greater good, and we owe him no apology for that.
So what you are saying is that the apology written by Paul Usoro is in his personal capacity and not as the president of the Nigerian Bar Association. All right.
Personal capacity.
Okay. I have something posted on the chat forum by no other person than by Mr. Chede Odinkalo. He is saying that the reasons why Mr. El-Rufai was deplatformed is not the petition on change.org, but the petition written by the Open Bar Initiative addressed to the TCCP. So I've seen the petition posted here now, where they are requesting that Malam El-Rufai be disinvited. So let me, I've not read this petition. Have you read the petition by the Open Bar Initiative, so you tell us about it, or do you want us to bring it out?
I think the Prof is here, Prof that actually championed the cause. I must give kudos and credit to him. He actually gave us the voice, to the platform to put in our voice. Since Prof is here, he should give us more light about this. I'm so happy that he's here.
Well, I will be happy to invite Prof to speak, but the time to invite others to speak have not. You still have the floor now. In the next 5 minutes, we'll be asking our listeners for anybody who has a contribution to make. But right now, my question is: have you read this petition by the Open Bar Initiative?
Yes, I read the petition.
And are you able to give us an idea of? I didn't read it myself. I read others, but I've not read this one, unfortunately. Are you able to give us a little piece of what their petition is about?
In summary of the petition, they made out a very weighty petition against him, which includes some of his violations of court orders. And they actually brought out names of persons he has actually incarcerated. They gave us full details of court orders, various court orders. He actually penned cases, even ongoing cases, that he will go ahead and do his wish. And very bad signal. Executive rascality is the order of the day, and if we don't bring some people back to order, they will see it as the norm of the society. So I like their petition because they spelled out each of their grounds and brought out the very complaint against the governor.
Okay, do you see this controversy about Malam El-Rufai's disqualification? How do you see it impacting on the Nigeria Bar Association generally? Do you see it as dividing the association, or will it bring the association closer?
As I said earlier on, this decision was made by the NEC, that is the second highest authority of the association. I don't see reason why branches should be raising a counter argument to that. That shows that the NBA needs to sit up. The NBA has been defaulting in having her LPDC, her disciplinary committee, work well, and is not sending a good message for the members. I think if they start the correction procedure, it will send a very good message to certain persons to respect the authorities of the association. It's very wrong, it's very sad to see branches revolting against the national. This is not the first time it is happening. I remember when the national made a declaration for a boycott of the court. The same Jigawa branch opposed it, and others followed suit. Now they are doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing because there was no consequences for their first action. I believe the NBA must do something to unite the bar. And if you want to unite the bar, you must use the cane and the pampering. They must use the disciplinary committee effectively, and they must take care of the lawyers, the welfare of the lawyers adequately. So they need to unite the bar. Right now, it will actually cause some kind of misunderstanding in the bar, and it will send wrong signals. But the NBA can use this opportunity to correct the wrong signals. I think they should use this opportunity even to send a very strong message on persons that are countering the position of the national. They need to correct this narrative.
Now let's extrapolate this controversy now in the Nigeria Bar Association to the Nigeria, to the nation as a whole. We have seen it appear. Does it appear to you that those supporting this invitation of Malam El-Rufai is mainly from the southern part of Nigeria, southern Christians, while those who are angry that he has been invited appears to be the northern Muslims? Does it appear to you to be that way?
I refuse to agree to that, because even the president, Paul Usoro himself, made mention of the fact that at the NEC meeting, those that were promoting his exclusion were even Northerners. Even he said a Northern SAN had like more of the push for his exclusion. More Northerners were actually up for that. You know, the attitude of this governor is not strictly like against Christians, or like I see his attitude as a general something. He displays his attitude against Christians, against even the Shiite group, so that he shares the same faith with. So I will not say he is absolutely against a particular religion or a particular section. Now, and in this very protest, I don't see it again as one particular section rising against him, because there are also Northerners that are against him coming to that platform.
Okay, now my next question is, if it's not sectional, if it is not religious, do you think it is as well political? Because I think it appears to me that this is the first time that someone of El-Rufai's station has been invited and disinvited. I've not heard, I don't know whether it's happened before. So do you think this controversy is political, even if it is not regional or sectional?
I will tell you that this has nothing to do with political flavor. And this is not the first time that Governor El-Rufai has been refused to speak in an occasion like that. We have the Nigerian Medical Association program in Kano that he was invited, and he was turned down at where the members also refused.
When was that?
That was I can't remember the year actually, but this actually happened. I am very familiar with the fact of this. So this is not the first time he's experiencing this. It has nothing to do with political flavor. It is actually based on good conscience and for the betterment of the members of the bar. Now we're looking at a step forward. We're looking at a step forward. We need ideas that will build the bar, not send wrong signals. So we're not looking for political statements now. We're looking for the right words that will develop the bar. It has nothing to do with politics, nothing, no political coloration.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel Zion. Your last name always, I don't know why it's escaped, but thank you very much for this presentation. At this point, we will be happy to welcome questions or comments from our listeners and viewers, especially Prof. Please, now that you are here, Professor Denkalu, please, we would like to hear your take. This is a topic that you were very passionate about, and you played a very strong role in what transpired. Now that we are happy to welcome you to this event. Now that you are here, please, we'd like to hear from you in a short while. If you don't mind, please, I'm making this request. If you do us the pleasure of giving your opinion. Now, Emmanuel, please. My next question will be, well, the Jigawa branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, Yobe, I think another state have also signaled that they may withdraw from the Nigerian Bar Association annual conference because of this invitation. What had happened to El-Rufai, they see it as injustice. Should Nigeria have just one bar association? Do you think, if, after all, we know that the criminal code, there is a lot of, well, there is a separate criminal code for the North and one criminal code for the South. And again, each state have their own civil procedural rules, which they have enacted for their own states. I practice in the United Kingdom. Solicitors in Scotland have their own legal body regulating them. England and Wales have their own. England have their own legal system. Scotland have their own legal system. Now in Nigeria, we have seen, for instance, what's happening with the Sharia court in Kano passed a death sentence for someone who blasphemed the Muslim religion. I'm sure that no state in the South will even send to prison, talk less of a death sentence, on anyone who blasphemed Christianity. Now, because of these disparities in several parts of the country, should Nigeria have one legal system? Should Nigeria have just one bar regulating the entire country, seeing how large the country is? What is your view on this matter?
My view is that Nigeria should go back to the regional system. Let each region operate our own bar because of our ethnic difference, our religious stand. I think this will go a long way in promoting what we believe and our morals and values. But the incident of the day has made it that the moment a person is called to the Nigerian bar, you automatically become a member of the Nigerian Bar Association, and you become bound by everything, the constitution, the resolutions, the ideas of the association. And this has not really gone well for many because of our divergence, view, and ideas. I think that a regional bar system should operate, where the South will have their own bar, the North will have their own bar, and they can promote their own system, while the South can promote their own system, each region with its own ideology, and that would be a very good one. And I think it will send a good message to the Nigerian system that the regional government is what is advisable at the moment.
We thank you very much. Now it's time to take comments and questions from our audience today. Well, Prof Odenkalu, please, can you unmute yourself and, if possible, start your video and tell us your take on the topic we have tonight, which is the Nigerian Bar Association Annual Conference and the controversy regarding Governor Nasir El-Rufai, please. Thank you very much, Prof.
Sorry. Good evening, Dan. I'm in a bit of a borrowed